Right, welcome back to the channel. Before I get started, doing a bit on the sport at the moment. I had a little bit of interest in this old baby behind me, so I said I would do a bit of a walk around just to show you what's what on it. There she is, Range Rover Classic. I'm unsure of the year. If I can find a bumper with a number plate on it, then I'll let you know. Right, it is, and it's quite a rare one because, let me just turn. Oh yeah, there's enough light there. It's still got the VM diesel engine in it, which most people swap these for the 200 or 300 TDI, so it's quite rare to find one with the original VM engine in. And it does add a ton of welding, inner and outer sills. The bulkhead it's all cut out. There's a bulkhead panel. It's had the chassis repaired. It's had new inner wheel wells. Same over that side. There's a boot floor over there to go on. You see the chassis has all been painted now, but it's had some repairs here. This was all rotted out, and that's been done. Same, and this outrigger was rotten. That's been repaired. And to be honest, the repairs are actually bloody brilliant. He's done a cracking job of it. So moving around the back. Yeah, she's having a fair amount of work. It's been here about 4 or 5 months now. And a view under this rear arch. Yeah, new inner and outer sill, part of the floor on this side. And it's got to have some more repairs. The bulkhead has been cut out there. There's more rust there to be cut out and done. So there it is, the old Range Rover Classic. So I'm unsure of the year of it. Okay, so there you go. Rover Steve, I think your username was, who inquired about this. Yeah, unfortunately I'm not working on this. I mean, I can do the stuff this is having done. I can weld and fabricate and stuff. But no, this one is not my job. So I won't be doing or filming any work on this one, unfortunately. So back to the Range Rover Sport, and there's Sid there with his arse hanging out. Right, where are we up to? Sid's fighting with the vacuum pipe.
It's in.
You've got it, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're the best. Right, airbox is in. Expansion bottle is in. This part of the inlet manifold is all on. And the intercooler pipe. The battery's on and connected. So next step is to prime the oil system, and we're going to give it a go, see if she'll start. On the battery, the fuse is still bypassed. That 400 amp fuse there that goes in this is still bypassed. We haven't got the fuse. That blew when Sid tried to start it after the crankshaft snapped. Right, let's prime the oil system. Just get myself up on the front bumper. Right, to prime the oil system in the oil filter housing, down the middle hole is to the oil galleries, the outside is to the pump. So what we need to do is fill up the middle until all this is full and there's no more oil going down, and that will fill the crankshaft and all the oil galleries up in the block. So I got a bit of oil in this. Sid's going to be my cameraman, and I'm going to try not to make a mess.
Absolutely bang on.
Innit? Yeah, just wait for it to drop down. So it'll probably take quite a bit. I'll stick the rest around the outside that fills the oil pump up. Let's get some more oil.
He's taking his time to go down,
Yeah, will do. No, just leave that to drain for a bit and then we'll put some more in. Okay, right, I've done in there now, the oil filter's in. I've poured the rest of the oil in there. There's only 5 litres in it for now, but we want to run it first and then I'll check the level and top it up. They hold about 5.5 litres, but because this is a dry fill, it's probably going to hold up 6.5. But what's in there now should be enough. Right, the next step is to bleed the fuel system, and you do it from here. And what Land Rovers say, you're supposed to put a pipe on there and run it all the way back to the tank. Well, I don't bother. All we do is turn the ignition on, push the Schrader valve until diesel comes out of this. So that's what we're going to do next. Bleed the fuel system, and then we'll give it a go and see what happens. Probably throw a rod now, my luck. Right, so just the ignition on, yeah, don't crank it. No.
Brake fluid.
Oh yeah, we've got to bleed the brakes. Alright, we've got plenty of diesel coming out of there.
Yeah. So.
Right, Sydney. Shall we give it a go?
Oh.
Shall we see if it'll start? Oh, get back in there.
I didn't know you said.
That's because you haven't been busy in that shop today.
I know.
Right, four on the brake then.
Any coolant in there?
No, there's no coolant, but we're not going to run it for long. Just enough. If it does start, just keep an eye on the oil light, yeah? It'll probably take a little while to go off, but if it's on for a ridiculously long time, knock it straight off.
So wait for the oil light.
Yeah, start it up, wait for the oil light to go out, let it run for a couple more seconds, knock it off. But it's not going to start straight away. It's going to crank for a little while, all right?
We'll just keep turning it.
If you hear any strange noises, stop it straight away, even when it's not started. If you hear any strange noises, or if I shout anything, knock it straight off, yeah? Okay, go for it, mate. Kick it in the guts, Sydney! Go on, keep going, mate. Right, just turn the key on, and I'll bleed a bit more of the fuel system.
Right on.
Right, there's plenty of diesel there.
Right.
Let me just make sure there's not diesel all over the floor, in case I've left the high pressure pipe loose. Don't remember the first time. No. Crank it. Okay, she runs, but we've got a bit of a noise. That sounds like an exhaust blow. Yeah, so we'll have to investigate that. But yeah, it runs. Okay, so that's a good thing. Okay, right. So we've got a noise. It's not the exhaust blowing. Taking the fan belt off, it's still doing it. I think it's coming from in the timing belt area, because notice that when it was running earlier, because we started up again, it is, I'm not sure, it's kicking swarf up and the fan's blowing it back, so something is rubbing somewhere. Need to find out what it is, I'm not sure. And also we've got a coolant leak, which looks like it's coming out the water pump, so I may have caught the seal on the water pump when I pushed that in. So we've got a couple of things to sort out on it, but you know, everything's fixable, isn't it? That's going to call it for this one. Couple of issues to sort out, but at least it's running. But I could have done without the extra shit that's gone with it. But there you go. Shit happens, doesn't it? So, right, hopefully on a weekend we'll get these little issues sorted out. We'll run him up to temperature and take him for a drive. So until then, look after yourselves. I'll see you next time.